morning, good afternoon, good evening. One of the annoying things about Zimbabweans, Zimbabwean politicians, is how they keep denying historic facts, distorting them to the point of becoming ridiculous. Here is an interview by Professor Arthur Mutambara, trying to rationalize why he and his MDC friends participated in the flawed and disastrous 2017 military coup.
Were you yourself maybe also hoodwinked? Because I was reading your book and you say in the preface, you say, the removal of Zimbabwe's strongman, long-serving President Robert Mugabe, by a people-backed coup d'etat in November 2017 was greeted with euphoria, excitement, and high expectations. What was your initial assessment?
My assessment was that there was an opportunity for change. There was so much goodwill in the country, in Zimbabwe, so much goodwill in SADC, so much goodwill in
Sorry, I've lost sound there. I'll start it again. See whether it will be any better. My apologies. Say that will start it again and see whether it'll be any better. Lost sound there. Okay, let's try it again. Well, my apologies. For some reason, the video clip is not playing. But in this video clip, Professor Arthur Mutambara.
Much goodwill in the country, in Zimbabwe.
Maybe also.
Oh, there we are. Sorry. Oh dear, we lost it again. Seem to have some problems. But the argument there that Professor Arthur Mutambara was giving was that MDC leaders supported the 2017 military coup because there was a lot of goodwill in both SADC and the region for change. And they supported it in the hope, in the expectation that Mnangagwa would have the vision to realize that this was an opportunity for meaningful change. And unfortunately, that was not to be. And so it was a lost opportunity. But that is not true. We have got to remember here that Professor Arthur Mutambara and his friends in the MDC were in the GNU, Government of National Unity, of 2008 to 2013. They had the golden opportunity to implement the democratic reforms which would have ended the Zanu PF dictatorship. So the military coup of 2017 would have been unnecessary if Zimbabwe had achieved the reforms and was a healthy and functioning democracy at the end of 2013. It wasn't, because MDC leaders had failed to implement even one token reform. This is at the heart of it. And the question that must be asked then is, why did they fail to implement even one reform? And the reason for it is very simple and very clear: corruption. Full credit to Arthur Mutambara. He is one of the few MDC leaders throughout the GNU who has admitted that the MDC leaders took their eyes off the ball. It's his way of admitting that they sold out. The truth is, they sold out. That was a golden opportunity to implement the democratic reforms and end the Zanu PF dictatorship. They did not. And when you look at that relative to the 2017 military coup, the truth of the matter is, Chris Mutsvangwa, who was speaking on behalf of the Zanu PF Lacoste faction led by Mnangagwa, and those who were responsible for the military coup itself, did promise the MDC leaders that if they cooperated in the military coup, the way forward was that there was going to be a new GNU. GNU Mark II. Tsvangirai, he was in hospital in South Africa. When he heard of the offer, he discharged himself and returned to Zimbabwe in a huff. However, by the time the new administration was being formed, when Mugabe had finally resigned, handed in his letter of resignation, Patrick Chinamasa, speaking on behalf of the restructured Zanu PF party, not one particular faction, announced that the coup was an internal Zanu PF affair. And so there was not going to be any GNU, much to the shock of Morgan Tsvangirai and company. But they had cooperated. The Zanu PF had got what it wanted. There was nothing they could do about it. And so the truth of the matter is, our MDC friends cooperated for the same reason that they failed to implement even one token democratic reform during the GNU. Greed and breathtaking incompetence. And so Arthur Mutambara is not being honest here, trying to tell us that somehow he and his friends genuinely expected that Mnangagwa would have the competence and vision to view the opportunity as an opportunity of the coup as an opportunity to reset Zimbabwe's political system. He is not being honest in saying that. And this is why it is so annoying that we find ourselves in a situation where people want to pretend one thing, knowing fully well
Leader
what actually happened.
could have created an opportunity of
I still have the problem with playing that video.
Zimbabwean moment, not a Zanu PF moment,
Not an individual moment.
oh, but however, there was lack of leadership on the part of those who were propelled into power by the coup.
Sorry about that. Simply have some problem with this particular video clip. But the most important thing there is that the coup, the military coup, was not going to change anything. To pretend that somehow the MDC leaders supported the military coup because they expected Mnangagwa to have vision and to seize the opportunity to change the government, to change the nation, is just being dishonest. It's just nonsense. The same individuals failed to implement even one token reform during the GNU for exactly the same reasons why they participated in the military coup: greed and breathtaking incompetence. That is the truth. And I think we need to respect the truth if we're going to move on. Thank you very much. Have a good day.